Hello and welcome to Philosophy Vibe, the channel where we discuss and debate different philosophical ideas. Today we're going to be discussing solipsism and the problem of other minds.
Wow, fascinating.
Now, we have covered solipsism in our Philosophy of Mind series, but we thought it would be worthwhile to have a sole video on the subject.
Yes.
In short, solipsism is the idea that the only thing we have direct access to is our own minds, our own thoughts, our own consciousness, and our own experiences. Because of this, we can only be sure and certain that our own minds exist, which means we cannot in fact be certain that any other minds exist. It could be quite possible that I am the only mind that exists.
A truly radical theory.
Indeed. I think it's worth looking at the history behind solipsism first, and the steps that has led certain philosophers to take the solipsist standpoint.
Sure.
It is fair to say that the roots of solipsism began in the 16th century with René Descartes. In his Meditations on First Philosophy, Descartes goes through a process of doubt. Descartes reasons that he has often found himself in a dream that was indistinguishable from reality. He was fully in a dream but had no idea and believed everything was real. If it is possible for one's senses to deceive them sometimes, then it is possible for one's senses to deceive them all the time. And so, Descartes agreed that he could in fact be permanently in a dream world that does not physically exist.
I see.
From there, Descartes doubts the existence of everything he has come to know by his senses. Everything in reality except his own mind. He knows that he exists. He coins the famous phrase, "I think, therefore I am." Descartes knows that if he is able to doubt, it means he is conscious and therefore alive.
So, was Descartes the first solipsist?
Not really. During the meditations he reasons that God exists and that God cannot be a deceiver, and so he rejects mass deception and accepts the existence of the material world and of other minds.
I see.
Now, fast forward to the 17th century and we have the philosopher John Locke, who made a distinction between primary and secondary qualities. Locke believed that the things like shape, extension, size all existed in an external physical world. These are primary qualities. However, things like colour, taste and smell all exist in the mind. These are secondary qualities, and these are created by the powers of the primary qualities. So effectively, half of reality solely belongs in the mind and not in the external world.
Yes, I understand.
And from there we reach the philosopher George Berkeley, who rejected the external world altogether. He took John Locke's theory even further and said even the primary qualities are in the mind. All of reality is just mental ideas. There is no material world, no external reality to the mind. All of reality was mind dependent.
Truly fascinating.
And just to let you know, we have full videos covering Descartes, Locke and Berkeley. The links will be in the description, so please check them out if you want to go deeper into their theories. So, by the 18th century, the complete rejection of a material world was a prominent theory among philosophers. So now we are just one step away from solipsism. Let's look at the reasoning in reaching a solipsist position. You would agree that your mental states are completely private and unobservable to anyone else.
Yes, I suppose. No one can see my thoughts or ideas directly.
Correct. And so you agree, you cannot have direct access to anyone else's thoughts or ideas.
Yes, I agree.
So all you can be sure of is your own thoughts, your own ideas and your own mind. And as you do not have direct access to anyone else's thoughts or ideas, you cannot definitively say anything else exists outside of your own mind. And so, you cannot definitively say that anyone else has thoughts or ideas. You cannot with any certainty say that anyone else has consciousness other than you. This is known as the problem of other minds. I must doubt the existence of all other minds. I am quite possibly the only conscious being in reality.
Okay, I agree. We cannot have direct access to someone else's consciousness. But You can say you have indirect access, and so it puts us in a good position to infer that other minds exist.
And what is this indirect access?
I would say behavior. We know how our own mental states correlate to our own body. So when we see bodies behaving in a certain way, we can infer they must also be having certain mental states. When you, for example, cut your finger, you feel pain and you scream. So if you see someone else cut their finger and scream, you can infer that the sensation of pain took place, and so they have consciousness, they have a mind, it does exist and it does feel. This is known as inference, is the best explanation.
But this is still an inference. It is not concrete proof, it is not certain knowledge, so behavior does not solve the issue. Every other person in my life can be what is known as a philosophical zombie. On the outside, they are indistinguishable from a normal human being, but inside, they lack conscious experience and sentience. So, if I cut my finger, I feel the pain and I scream. If I was to see someone else cut their finger and then scream, there is a huge bit of data missing for me, namely the sensation of pain. I have no idea that the other person felt this pain or felt anything at all. It could be just a simple input-output. The zombie cut their finger and the zombie screamed, but no feeling or sensation actually took place. Whatever was felt cannot be accessed by me, it cannot be proven by me, and cannot be known by me, and so I have no evidence that this actually took place and that the consciousness exists. I have every reason to doubt it exists. It could be that I am the only being that feels, that thinks, that is conscious. I am the only mind that exists.
But we can see thoughts and conscious feelings. The breakthroughs we have made in neuroscience means we can measure thought processes. Would this not be proof?
Measuring is not direct access. With all the breakthroughs in neuroscience, we cannot actually see a thought, and we definitely cannot experience someone else's mental state. So no, this is not proof.
Okay, fine. Behavior may not be enough to definitely prove the existence of other minds, but what about language?
What about language?
Does the existence of a shared language with mutual understanding not prove that other minds exist?
How so?
Let's look at Wittgenstein's private language argument. Wittgenstein explained that it would make no sense for someone to speak a language that no one else understood. What would be the point in uttering words that only you understood? No one else in the entire world could make any sense of the words you were saying. Speaking this private language would be meaningless, right?
Right.
So in a world where you are the only mind that exists, any mention of a mental state you have would be meaningless, as no other mind is conscious, so they would not have any mental states. So words like pain, pleasure, happy, sad, these would effectively be a private language, a language that only you understood, because the words of this language refer to the logically private states of your mind.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Well, if there were no other minds, how could you attach feelings with words if they are solely private? In order to do this, they need to be public. They need to be understood and recognized by other minds. But you do talk about your feelings and sensations. We all do. We attach words to them so that we can discuss them with other people and other people can know what we are talking about. This was Wittgenstein's point. He denied the possibility of a private language. He argues that language is necessarily public in nature. It would not be possible to engage in conversation were it not for the existence of common meanings. And so, unlike a private language, we can share our thoughts and feelings and mental ideas. We may not directly perceive other people's mental states, but we have a common language where we can discuss them, proving that other people have the same or similar mental ideas. I can talk about my mental ideas and other minds can understand and respond to this, proving there are other thinking minds experiencing mental ideas.
I'm sorry, but I do not think this proves other minds exist.
Why not?
I would like you to imagine a dream, which is somewhere along the lines of what the solipsist can imagine reality to be. Now, I often meet people in my dreams and I have conversations with them. But they are not conscious minds, yet they are using language. I am using language, and everything seems to function. I am the only conscious mind in my dream, yet there is a public language. You would not say this is proof that the characters in my dream are conscious minds.
You could say they are. They are part of your mind created by your consciousness.
Exactly. And so is everyone and everything else in this reality.
Okay, so explain, how would this work? If you are the only conscious being that exists, what does this mean? Did you create reality and everything and everyone in it?
Well, one idea is that yes, I did create everything. I create and perceive simultaneously, just like a dream.
So, you were saying you can pick up and read a book on quantum mechanics, something you do not understand, yet you created the character that wrote the book. How then do you have this knowledge yet not understand it? This is the case with anything. I can ask you about the architecture of St. Paul's Cathedral. You have no idea of architecture, yet somehow you built St. Paul's Cathedral. Are you saying you also painted the Mona Lisa, created Beethoven's symphonies, yet you have no idea how to paint or play an instrument? This seems logically inconsistent.
Now we are getting into the metaphysics of this, but yes, I did create all of these things just like I do with all the details of my dreams.
Not the same thing. Your dreams are your subconscious projections of things you have seen in the real world. If, for example, you dream of a beach, you have seen a beach in the real world and this is projected onto your dreams. You did not create the beach in the first instance.
But if I am the only conscious mind, then I am basically God. It's like I've created my own video game and I've put myself in as a character.
This is starting to sound absurd. I mean, if you are God, why are you not all powerful? Why would you create yourself as an average everyday person? Why not give yourself the most amazing life possible? Riches, fame, power, etc.
The same way I am not all powerful in every dream I have. I give myself limitations for a richer experience.
Oh, come on. In dreams, most of the time, you do not know you are dreaming. You are saying that you believe to be the only mind and the creator of reality. This is then comparable to a lucid dream. So go on then, fly, turn into a giant, manipulate reality. If you are a creator, fully aware that you are a creator, you could.
Well, perhaps I am not God, but there is a God that has created everything and plugged my mind and my mind alone into this reality for the experience.
See, this just sounds like the most self-centered and narcissistic theory possible. You are saying either you are God, or that God has created reality just for you. This is not an attractive theory to espouse. Also, no two people could ever agree to solipsism, as, in theory, only one person could be right. Also, if you truly believed this, why are you talking to me? Why do you talk to anyone if we are just figments of your imagination?
I am continuing to play the game. I am just interacting with the reality that I am in.
I think that sounds absurd.
Well, there you go. Just a reminder, the script to this video is part of the Philosophy of Perception ebook available on Amazon. If you want to read over this debate and support the channel, please get yourself a copy. It really is a great ebook, by the way. We have the scripts to Locke's Primary and Secondary Qualities, Berkeley's Idealism and Hume's Skepticism. Definitely worth a read. The link will be in the description. But that's all the time we have for now. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the vibe. And what are your thoughts? Are there any solipsists out there? If there are, you're actually wrong, as I am the only conscious mind there is. But still, let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share, and make sure you subscribe for more philosophical debates. Take care, until next time.